Unseen Ties Part 3. The shift came quietly. At first, it was just a missed call, then a delayed response, then a meeting that was suddenly rescheduled. Lila noticed. Of course she did. She had built her life on attention to detail, on reading rooms, understanding people, sensing even the smallest change in tone. And now something was undeniably different. The warmth that once surrounded her had cooled. Smiles felt thinner, conversations shorter, eyes more watchful. She stood in front of a mirror one morning, dressed for another campaign, her reflection as flawless as ever. But this time, she studied it longer than usual, as if searching, not for imperfection, but for truth. What changed? She murmured. No answer came. Mara watched it unfold, not from the front, never from the front, from the edges, from behind conversations, from the quiet spaces where words carried further than they should. And now the whispers had grown. No longer small, no longer subtle. I heard she's difficult to work with. She's not as genuine as she seems. There's something off about her. Each sentence hit its mark. Each rumor spread just far enough. Mara should have felt satisfied. This was what she wanted, wasn't it? To prove that Lila wasn't untouchable. To bring her down to something human. But as she stood in the background of another studio set, watching Lila prepare for a shoot, something inside her hesitated. Because Lila didn't look arrogant. She didn't look fake. She looked tired. And that wasn't part of the plan. The breaking point came without warning. A major campaign. One of the biggest of Lila's career. Everything had been set. Contracts signed, promotions prepared, expectations high. Until it wasn't. Lila sat across from her manager in a quiet office. The city stretching out behind the glass walls. His expression said everything before he spoke. They pulled out, he said carefully. Lila blinked. What? They're going in a different direction. That doesn't make sense. We finalized everything. He hesitated. Then finally, there have been concerns. The word lingered. Heavy. Unclear? Lila felt something drop inside her chest. What kind of concerns? Her manager looked away for a moment, then back at her. Your reputation. Silence filled the room. For the first time in a long time, Lila didn't have a response ready. Didn't have a smile. Didn't have control. My reputation? She repeated quieter now. They've been hearing things. About your attitude. Your professionalism. That's not true. I know, he said gently. But it's out there now. Out there. Floating. Spreading. Destroying. Lila leaned back slowly, her mind racing. And suddenly, it clicked. Not the details. Not the source. But the feeling. That same subtle shift she had been sensing for weeks. The distance. The hesitation, the unseen force pulling things apart. This wasn't random. It couldn't be. Mara heard the news that evening. She hadn't expected it to hit like that. It was supposed to be a victory. Proof that her actions had consequences. Proof that she could change something bigger than herself. But when she heard the campaign had been pulled, her stomach dropped. That wasn't, she whispered to herself. I didn't mean, but she had. Maybe not in that exact way. Maybe not to that extent. But she had started it. And now it had grown into something she couldn't control. For the first time, the weight of it settled fully on her chest. Heavy, unavoidable, real. They saw each other again the next day. No grand event, no crowd. Just a quiet hallway outside a studio. Lila had just stepped out of a meeting. Her expression unreadable, her movement slower than usual. Mara froze when she saw her. Every instinct told her to turn around, to disappear, to stay in the shadows where she had always been safe. But she didn't move. And this time, Lila saw her immediately. There was no hesitation, no confusion, just recognition. Clear, direct, unavoidable. Lila took a step forward. Mara's breath caught. Another step. Closer, closer, until there was no space left to hide in. You, Lila said softly. Not accusing, not angry, just certain. Mara's hands trembled slightly at her sides. The words wouldn't come. Because suddenly everything she had said, everything she had done, stood between them like a wall she had built herself. Lila studied her face, really studied it this time. Noticed the tension, the fear, the guilt barely held together beneath the surface. And then, she understood. Not how, not why, but enough. It was you, Lila said quietly. Still no anger, and somehow that made it worse. Mara's composure broke. I didn't mean for it to go that far, she blurted out, her voice shaking. I thought... She stopped, her breath uneven. I thought if people saw you the way I do, Things would feel fair. The words hung in the air. Raw, ugly, honest. Lila didn't respond immediately. She just looked at her. And in that silence, Mara felt something crack open inside her. I was jealous, she admitted, tears forming now. Of everything. The way people look at you. The way you just exist like it's easy. Her voice broke. And then I saw you that night. And for a second, it felt like you weren't perfect. Like maybe you were human too. A tear slipped down her cheek. But instead of letting that mean something good, I ruined it. Silence again. But this time, heavier. Final. Lila exhaled slowly, her gaze steady but distant. All this time, she said quietly. I couldn't understand what was happening. She paused, then added, and it was you. Not anger, not rage, just truth. Mara nodded weakly, unable to deny it anymore. I'm sorry, she whispered. But the words felt too small, too late, too empty to fix what had already been broken. Lila looked at her for a long moment. Then without another word, she turned and walked away. No dramatic exit, no final speech, just distance, each step creating more of it. Mara stood there frozen, watching her go. And in that moment, she understood. It wasn't the campaign. It wasn't the rumors. It wasn't even the damage she had caused. It was this. The quiet, irreversible loss of something she had only just begun to understand. Her knees weakened slightly as the weight of it settled in. She was... Mara's voice faded. Her chest tightened as the truth finally formed, clear and undeniable. My sister. The word broke something deep inside her. Not by blood alone, but by something unseen. Something she had felt from the very beginning, and destroyed before she ever gave it a chance. Tears fell freely now. Not out of anger, not out of envy, but regret. Deep, silent, and far too late.